Hello, ladies. Welcome to this week's edition of In Between Rounds. Today, I want to talk about a common issue in the fitness world that affects many of us, and it's not seeing results in the gym despite putting in effort. And this is a common problem. And we're going to sort of break it down because if you can understand why this is happening and how to overcome it, it can be a real game changer for your fitness journey. And basically, for a long time, the belief was that people weren't seeing results because they weren't training hard enough. And we now have scientific proof of that. So last year there was a really cool study done where researchers were figuring out what individuals' 1 rep max was and what percentage of that 1 rep max they were choosing to do repetitions of 10. And now in our program, we spend a lot of time in that 10 zone, 10, sometimes 12, sometimes 8, sometimes 15. But what they found is that most people were choosing 53% of their 1 rep max for those 10 reps. And that is the amount that generally one could lift for almost 20 reps. So around 50%, if you're lifting 50% of your 1 rep max, you should be able to do about 20, maybe even 25 reps at that weight. So if you're choosing that weight to do 10 reps at, and then stopping at 10, you're really leaving a huge amount still in the tank. And I do want you guys working closer to failure. And so I don't expect you to go to failure, especially because a lot of us are working out alone. So failure, I should explain, means when you sort of like try to push a rep out, but you can't do it and you need someone to help you and spot you. So we're not actually going to failure, but we need to be working near failure. And women in particular often hesitate to lift heavy weights, and this is maybe because of fear of injury, but also that misinformation about what's best for toning. And what we need to make sure we're aware of is toning is in fact building muscle. If you are looking to tone your muscles, you are in fact looking to build some muscle mass and decrease fat mass. So you have to build muscle in order to tone. And that sounds scary to a lot of us, but you have to also remember it is not easy to build huge amounts of muscle. So we're just talking little amounts of muscle. So we need to build little amounts of muscle while we lose that body fat, and that's what's going to tone our body. So it's really crucial to understand that lifting heavy can definitely be done safely with both proper form and guidance. So the other thing, lifting heavy is sort of just one element here because it isn't just about the weight either. It's about the intensity. And that's why I've been going into listing the types of the tempo that I want you doing your workouts at. Because if you're someone working out at home without access to really heavy weights, you can still change that intensity by slowing down your movement. So if you've got just light weights at home, you can get the same experience. Your muscles can go through the same process with those light weights if you slow it down. And so if you were to do those 10 reps slowly and with control, you are going to have that same muscle fatigue and actual breakdown of your muscle to rebuild in the way that we want. So it's very important that you are pushing that intensity, but it's almost equally as important that you remember it's not just about that intensity and pushing those weights. It's also about what you eat. All right. And so it's very important that you are eating a diet that is sufficient in calories. Okay, that's another thing that women in general tend to do is almost undereat. So you need to make sure you have sufficient calories from nutrient-dense food, but also protein, because protein is going to provide the fuel that your muscles need to grow. So make sure you're not just focused on the gym, you're focusing on that good, healthy, nourishing diet, and push yourself, push that intensity, and you need to be doing that multiple times in the week to get those key results. So at least twice, but 3 would be ideal. And so although in our HIIT workouts in this program, I don't expect you to be lifting weights that are as heavy as you are in your strength workouts, but I want you to feel a similar type of intensity. Of course, there's a little more cardio involved, but that fatigue is what really matters. So it is possible to balance both, to tone your body by increasing just a little bit of muscle mass by lifting those heavy weights. That's truly what's going to change your fitness. And I know there's a few of you that have had the luxury of seeing me when I work out. And let's just say, I don't think it's that pretty. And that's because I'm breathing hard. No, you don't need to grunt. I don't grunt, but I do have like breathy breaths. And that's because of the exertion. Okay. I am really pushing to do the weights. If this, ask yourself if you can keep going with your weight. And then I challenge you to keep going. So even though I'm telling you to stop at a certain number of reps, keep going and see how many you can do. Because if you can do 3, 5, 10 more than the number that I have prescribed, that is a sure fire sign that you need to increase the weights to increase that intensity. So let me know if you have any additional questions here, because the more you put into it truly is, the more you're going to get out of it. And I want you lifting with intention and with intensity and getting the results that you deserve, because you are putting time aside to invest into this. And so it's all about making sure you have, or that you get the biggest bang for your buck right here. So at that, leave those comments and questions in the comments below, and I will see you on the internet. Take care.